The lesson.
Oh yeah.
With the tour, there was an article about like you guys had to cancel some shows in Sydney.
Yeah.
Were those shows part of that tour?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we were talking about this that when I was stage managing the Cursor show last time he came to Adelaide, he told me about how now at that time they'd just introduced this thing in Sydney where for, I guess acts that are street hip hop, because I think like if 360, for example, wants to do a show in Sydney,
it'll be sweet.
I don't think there's any problems.
No.
Right? It's like the police have the power to pick and choose.
It's just another thing to say that they got the power, we don't.
Yeah.
It's just another one of those things.
And it's not even we're banned from performing, it's just they put on extra fees.
Correct.
So fuck these guys, I ain't paying these fucking coppers.
I ain't paying them coppers just to dry there.
We already paid fucking tax, we ain't fucking...
We sold out both our Sydney show and the Wollongong show.
And they're the ones that you had to cancel.
Yeah, because we had to pay a 15 grand on top of what? Of everything that's already been
Yeah,
paid.
all the costs that it takes to put on a show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to assume that what's happened is you guys have announced a show, you've been selling the tickets, and then your management will get a phone call that says,
from the venue.
Yeah.
So the police press the venue. They don't press the artist, they press the venue.
And then the venues get scared. The artist. Yeah.
And they do shit like, little sneaky shit like they'll look into the venue, make sure everything's spick and span, and your licensing's all up to, like everything. They threaten the venues and shit with that type of shit.
Yeah, so the venue gets pressure to cancel the show.
Yeah. So they don't say you got to cancel the show because they can't do that.
So what they do is they impose a fee.
Yeah.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but what the fee is allegedly for...
protection.
...is so that there can be more police presence.
Security, police.
More security.
Just in case something happens.
Right. Now, the interesting thing that I find about this is like when I watch old mafia movies and shit and people are just like, you can't do this unless you pay us X amount of money.
Yeah, bro, they're the biggest gang in the whole world, bro.
Right, so it sounds, extortion. It sounds a bit like legitimate extortion to certain acts that they have an issue with. Because like I said, I think if like certain acts, I just use 360 as an example, Hilltop Hoods, I don't think they're going to have to pay this fee. And I remember Cursor telling me about this because I'm pretty sure he was telling me about it because he had to pay it. And he let me know, it's just like, it'll be interesting now, because now that he's paid it, it kind of sets a precedence.
Yeah, straight
so the police will be, the police will be like, all right, well, if he's paid it, then, we're going to get other people to pay it. And if they can't pay it, tough shit.
Some more NWA shit.
Yeah, which is really unfair because not everybody grosses the same.
But it's only in Sydney, where we're from, our hometown. It's only like in Sydney. We can go anywhere else, like we're here today. Like we can go anywhere else and perform. We can go to New Zealand perform. There's no problems. There's no problems whatsoever. And I've never seen like punch-ons like any of the shows. As much as like there is punch-ons at the clubs, it's not our fault.
If you could, not that you're ever going to get the opportunity to, or maybe people have, but like, they say communication, often lack of communication is where often issues happen, and lack of communication is why things can't get worked out.
Yeah.
If you guys ever had the opportunity to communicate with the police that are behind this, what would you guys be saying to them in order to try to convince them to ease up with this kind of shit?
Nothing really we can say to them, mate.
Like we've been dealing with this type of shit our whole lives. It's like it's now everyone can just see it. Like
straight up. Our music speaks for itself.
We've been dealing with.
We're not doing no gang violence, nothing. But our music's like motivation.
And we don't have dramas with no one in the scene. Like we don't we put all that shits.
We do music and purely music, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Music and that's it.
Now, when I read this article, and like, when I found out about this rule, I thought that's pretty fucking hectic specifically because they can choose. It's not like it's a blanket rule for all acts.
Yeah, they just choose who.
They can pick and choose. So that puts them in a position where they can discriminate, right? So I thought that was pretty fucking hectic and unfair. But then in the same article I read that they've even said that they will try to go as far as getting certain songs removed from streaming platforms.
Yeah, they've already tried,
deemed like where you guys are talking about content that they don't want.
Yeah.
So
that's where the fans come in. that's where building your fan base comes in. Like us coming to like Adelaide right now, us being here in Adelaide doing these shows, it builds all that. Like us doing that regional tour last year, everything has like
got that support, you know.
Yeah, like everything has a meaning towards it. Like you can go do your festivals and be a big artist and be a one song hit quitter, but it takes more than that to be an artist and keep dropping hit after hit after hit after hit after hit.
We can go to most cities in Australia and, you know, sell out a venue and
yeah, straight up.
Also,
Yeah.
Like we're going to rural cities in Australia, and we're packing it out. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to talk big about ourselves, but it just goes to show like how loyal our fan base is. You know,
Yeah,
we don't have one song that just pops off. Like they actually like when we see them like rapping our songs back to us, and like it's like fuck, people are actually like know our lyrics, and like it's just hectic. It's just mad feeling, you know.
And that's why I say too, like a lot to the artists is be real. Not only in your clips, but be real to yourself.
Yeah, I think that's what helps us, because we're the exact same how we are in our music and in our like videos and vlogs. That's what we are off the camera.
Because if you want to go showing off, you got diamonds, this and that in your clips, your fans are gonna expect you to be rocking diamonds 24/7, bro. You know what I mean? They're expecting you that you're living this lavish lifestyle that you're not living. So just give them like be real. You know, because that's how you build your fan base as well, because your fans, they grow up, not only that, they grow up with you as well. So it doesn't really matter if the police take you off any type of streaming platform or whatsoever, your fans will follow you anyway. And we got some pretty good fans, bro. But shout out to our fans.
Shout out
to you guys.
And so you guys say that they've tried to take some of your shit down, but they haven't had success?
Not ours, but I heard that what you said as well. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if they're trying to take ours,
artists.
but like yeah, I've heard that they were trying to take it. But I think that'll be a bit hard for them to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because now you're stepping into like some fucking hardcore censorship type shit.
Because the way they YouTube and that, they'll look at it, they're like, they're making us money. Like, why would we take their stuff off our streaming platforms?
The lesson. 927. Oh yeah.